everybody, welcome to Nature at Home. My name is Linda and today we are going to study earth science. So earth science is the study of what makes up the earth and its atmosphere. And there are actually four different types of earth science. The first would be astronomy. The astronomy would be the study of the planets and the stars and the moons and what effect they have on the earth. The second is geology. Geology is study of rocks and minerals, and I have some examples of rocks and minerals right here that can be found in the earth and on the earth. The third is meteorology. Meteorology is the study of weather and clouds. And the last is oceanography, of course, the study of what goes on in the ocean. The ocean does cover a large part of the earth. So we're going to do a little bit more on geology than any other part of earth science right now. So geology, the study of rocks and minerals and what makes them up. Rocks and minerals are made up of different types of chemical compounds. Chemicals are things that are found in nature, like calcium, magnesium, iron, gold, silver. And what chemical compounds are things that make up other types of rocks. So we're going to talk about the three types of rocks, and they are, the first is known as sedimentary rock. So this is my little sedimentary rock cheat sheet. Sedimentary rocks are rocks that are made from things that have settled into the bottom of rivers and streams, and after hundreds and thousands of years of pressure, they are made into a different type of rock, a solid rock. Sandstone is a sedimentary rock. It's just sand that has been compressed and made into a rock. I've got some samples of sedimentary rock where you can see the different types of minerals in there. Sedimentary rocks are actually usually fairly easy to break. The next type is metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rock is rock that has undergone even more pressure and heat and formed into a new type of rock, such as granite and marble. These are really hard rocks, very hard to break. And the last type is igneous rock. A lot of igneous rocks are one chemical. A lot of igneous rocks actually come from volcano eruptions. So that's where you would get igneous rocks. So the earth is actually made up of many layers of rock, and we're going to make a little example. We're going to end up with our little earth ball when we're done. So the earth has an inner core. The inner core is actually a solid piece of rock. So we're going to use a little piece of Model Magic that I've made brown, and that would represent the center of the earth. So surrounding the inner core is an outer core of magma, and what magma is liquid rock, melted rock. It's known as magma under the ground, and when it comes out of the ground through a volcano, it is then called lava. So we're going to represent that one with a red covering. So I'm going to cover my little brown core with some red, and I now have the second layer of my earth. The next layer is the mantle, and the mantle is another solid layer. It's actually what makes up most of the earth, the mantle layer. And I'm going to use yellow to represent that. So I'm going to take my yellow, spread it way out, and I'm going to surround my red with the yellow. So that is making the mantle. And the earth that we see is called the crust, and the crust has to do with all the plants and water and mountains and everything like that that covers the earth. So I'm going to use some blue and some green, and I'm going to spread that out nice and thin so I can cover up my mantle with it. And there we go. Now I know right now it looks like just a ball of greens and blues, but we know that we made the earth, so we know what the different layers are. Again, it's the inner core, solid, the outer core, which is melted rock or magma, the mantle, which is another solid layer of rock, and then the earth covered with the crust of water and vegetation. So there's my earth. So if you give me a second, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to make a little treat for ourselves. So hold on 1 minute and I'll get my ingredients together. All right, I'm back with the ingredients to make our little treat. In the end, it's going to look a little bit like this. And this one's actually chocolate covered. So our ingredients that we will need would be some type of peanut butter. It can be regular peanut butter, it can be crunchy peanut butter, it can be nut butter or some type of substitute if you're allergic to nuts. This next ingredient we're going to need is instant dry milk. Now if you have milk allergies, you can substitute crushed cookie crumbs in place of the instant dry milk. But if you're not, I would suggest definitely using this. Instant dry milk. And the third ingredient is honey. So honey is very important. It needs to add that little bit of sweetness so it makes it good. Other things we're going to need is strawberry jam or jelly, or raspberry, some type of red jam or jelly. We're going to need some chocolate chips. We're going to need some either crushed cookie, it can be Oreo cookies, these happen to be vanilla wafers, it can be graham crackers, so some type of crushed cookie. A bowl, measuring cup. Of course we need a mixing spoon and some other spoons and stuff for later on. So this is my melted chocolate that we're going to dip the little globes into when we're done. So I'm going to start mixing these together and then we'll see how this all comes together. Alright, I've mixed all of my ingredients together right here and it's going to make kind of like a Play-Doh, but this is actually the peanut butter, the honey, and the dried milk together. We're going to take a little bit of that. That's a little too much. So we're going to take a little ball of this. We're going to warm it up a little bit so it's nice and squishable. And I'm going to make it flat. Flatten it out. The next step is to add a little bit of strawberry jam. Can you guys guess what the strawberry jam is going to represent in there? What's red that comes out of the earth? Lava or magma. So this is going to represent the magma layer. And I said that inside the lava layer, this would be the outer core. So I'm going to put a little chocolate chip in the middle. That's the inner core. I think I have a little too much strawberry in there. It's going to all squish out. We don't want that happening. So once I've got that in there, I'm going to carefully squeeze. Notice it's popping out. That's kind of like a volcano erupting. I'm going to squeeze that all around, roll it into a ball, try not to get all my lava squeezing out of there. Once that's into our ball shape, and then we're going to roll it in some cookie crumbs. So I've got some crushed up in a bag right here, and I'm going to push that around in there. So you notice that the cookie crumbs, when they're squished in there, some of them are going to be sticking up higher. Maybe that's a mountain range. You can leave it like this. I would refrigerate them for about 20 minutes or so they can get a little harder. And then we can also dip it in the melted chocolate. We don't have to do that, and that could represent the outer crust as well. So we will post the picture of the ingredients afterwards, but I'm going to show you what this thing looks like inside. So So inside we have our solid core, our magma center around the solid core, our mantle, which is the peanut butter and milk mix, and our mantle, or our crust, which is the chocolate exterior. So you guys have some fun. You go make some of these to have as a snack and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you learned a little bit about earth science. I want to thank the New York State Power Authority for funding our center and our programs. And don't forget to visit us on Facebook to find our links to nature programming every day. We hope to see you tomorrow, and you guys have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.